Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier and this is Ship Updates. Now, of course, this week the Xi'an Nox was revealed. This is the Xi'an space bike that, we kind of got a little hint about at the beginning of the year, but then we hadn't seen until now. And outwardly, it looks amazing. It really does. It looks absolutely fantastic, and we got treated to an amazing ATV segment that just spoke, just talked about so much with this bike and kind of showed the creation process, what they went through, a little bit of the beginning concept art, and some roads that they didn't take when they designed it. And then ultimately we saw so much of this bike because apparently it is ready to go for 3.0. So that means if you were to buy this, I was about to say shit, but if you were to buy this space bike, you would conceivably be in possibly as little as a month, you could be riding around in this in-game on the surface of a planet. But there was one segment of the video that I would like to highlight right here. Now, when they showed the bike with, of course, I guess that armor plating coming up over the person's back, you're really hunkered down in the bike. And so that kind of got me a little bit concerned about the cockpit view. And then, of course, seeing the video, it really didn't improve things for me. And, here you get a much more in effect what it's going to look like view, though it's still strangely enough sporting that Xeon / Vanduul Asperia HUD, but I guess that's just a placeholder for now. But the cockpit view obviously restricted, and it was something that as soon as I saw it I went, oh man, here we go again. Now, in order to try and illustrate the point that I'm going to be making about this bike, we're going to take a little spin around the track with Casey Stoner of the Repsol Honda team. Now, of course, this isn't his actual view. This is a GoPro camera strapped to the gas tank. But when you see the artwork of the Xi'an Nox, you quickly see that you're right in there. I mean, your chin is basically sitting on what would look like the gas can on a normal bike. So this is kind of a view that you would have, and it isn't the best view. Obviously, it's obstructed somewhat, and I think it's a little bit more obstructed in this video than it would be on an actual Xi'an Nox. But you can still kind of see how, with so much up in your face, that sometimes critical data can be missing when you're trying to drive around, fly around at high speed, or engage in combat. That could present an issue. Now you might say, well, he's doing it just fine with this view, but what you're going to see is occasionally in the video you're going to see an obstruction coming in from the top, and that's actually the chin of his helmet, because he's actually sitting there. He's actually sitting up a little bit higher, and so he has a far less obstructed view than you would have if you were basically, with your chin kind of bolted to the gas can, as it were, as it is in the Xi'an Nox. So that kind of is something that when I saw it, I just went, oh, shit, dude, again? I mean, we kind of went through this a little bit with the Defender, and here we are again. And I wasn't happy about it. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh shit, here we go. Now, Minion's gonna skewer this bike. He's gonna fucking tear it apart. I don't need that negativity, yada, yada, yada. Wrong. Because as much as it actually is an issue, it could potentially be a complete non-issue. And the reasoning behind that is that there is, in lore, a way to totally get around this and not change the bike externally one iota. Remember this ship? Now, this we were introduced to a year ago at the Star Citizen anniversary sale. It's the Asperia Copperhead. Prowler. And one of the unique features of this ship was its cockpit design. And it had a certain material that was opaque from the outside, yet transparent from the inside. So no one could actually see into the cockpit, but you could see out completely unobstructed. You would have a clear view, and you would be able to fly and fight with that. And that was actually, that's something that they're actually going to put in game. And so using that same material, you could resolve the issue with the Nox without changing it externally, whatever that material is called.
Transparent aluminum? That's the ticket, laddie.
So with a simple phrase, this kind of visibility issue with the Nox becomes a complete non-issue. And so, I mean, I would like to see that discussion. I would like to, kind of have CIG maybe acknowledge that, but it really is not that big of a deal. So, because it's something that could easily be fixed. It's just an issue that needs to be raised, discussed, and ultimately, I think overall, you could see the possible benefits to, maintaining the exterior look of the ship entirely, but being able to have a much larger view area, I think makes a lot of sense. So hopefully that's something that'll be raised and fixed in the future with this bike and a possible future iteration of it. There, now with that happily pushed aside, there's one obvious question. Which is better, Drake Dragonfly or Xi'an Nox? And the truth is, in my opinion, I'm looking at it from a practical standpoint, from a day in, day out, using a space bike to, do whatever you need to do in the universe. Of course, I own a Caterpillar, and with that Caterpillar came 2 Dragonflies. So would I get the Xi'an Nox to go along with it? For me, the answer is no. I would rather have the Dragonfly because the Dragonfly has the added option of being able to carry a passenger and a very tiny, modest cargo capacity that the Xi'an Nox does not have. Now, I think it's conceivable that the Nox will probably be faster and more maneuverable, but the armament is equivalent between both bikes. And, if you've seen the Drake Dragonfly, you know that the cockpit view, because there really isn't a cockpit, is a complete non-issue with that bike as well. So, when I look at it from a practical standpoint, I'm going to stick with my Drake Dragonflies. Would I buy the Nox? I might buy like a 2-pack of the War Bonds for $35, but then I'm just only buying them so that when 3.0 launches and all the ships in 3.0 go on sale again, I can just CCU those into another pair of Dragonflies for my Caterpillar. So it does look really cool. I might pick one up and actually keep it, but truth is, more than likely, if I do buy one, I'm probably just going to change it into a Dragonfly, because for me it's more about the practical usability of the vehicle, and the Drake Dragonfly just has more options. Now, you might disagree with me entirely on how I see this situation, but all I'm really doing here is once again presenting my opinion of the situation and this space bike. You might entirely disagree. You might see it as, oh my God, that's exactly what I want, buying it right now, and you're perfectly okay to do so, because all I'm offering you is my opinion. In the end, the decision to buy or not to buy rests with you. Now, I'm still looking for information on the Reclaimer and the Banu Merchantman to see what's going on with those ships in the future, and if they were simply omitted from the schedule or if they have indeed been delayed, but I do not know that for a fact yet. So I'm still trying to dig in on that issue and find out what's going on. But once again, leave your questions and comments below, and I will be answering them, as long as there aren't too many of them, on the Piracy Show on Monday. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the show, and thanks for watching.
Quantum travel initiated.